Hello again, I'm back today to discuss something inspired by a discussion I had with some artists on a Discord. Namely, how RWBY uses its character's wardrobe to convey development, underlying influences, and themes like the cycle of abuse. But first, I just want to thank my wonderful patrons for making this episode possible. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to address the elephant in the room, namely that Weiss and Blake are no longer wearing their trailer colours. Because to me, this is an awesome reflection of their growth as characters. Both Blake and Weiss started the series escaping from under the thumb of their abusers. Director commentary straight up says that Blake didn't become the protagonist of the Black trailer until she escaped Adam at the end, thus their abusers' colours dominating their aesthetics makes perfect sense. White representing both Jacques and the Elysian system, as well as black tying Blake to Adam. But, we also see hints of rebellion in this too, Weiss having a red inline to her V1 clothes for example. Blake also has lavender shading covering up her legs, and when she switched her V4 outfit, subsumed the black with white, adding gold lining and a light lavender trim. And post volume 4 to 6, they have truly overcome and escaped their abusers, allowing Weiss to take her clothes further into bold blues and reds, and Blake to adopt more purple and gold into her design. RWBY and Yang don't have quite the same progression in terms of colour schemes, as while their childhood was far from ideal, it wasn't dominated by active malevolence so much as just a failure from the adults in their lives. Though I will make some notes, such as how red has steadily become more and more dominant in RWBY's design over time. Meanwhile, Yang's clothes often had an earthy brown, as her hair plays the main role as embodying the gold and yellow in her aesthetic. And given the importance of her hair to her, and that it's something she chose to place importance on over hadn't foisted onto her, I think it works well. There's also just a lot of fun trivia in the outfit designs, some obvious, some less so, like how Nora had a slash through her heart after the events of V3 indicating her feelings of sadness, or how Jorn's new sword forgoes defense entirely to hint at his lack of self-care and replacing it with rage that ultimately didn't help, followed by a more streamlined design and a refocused on support and defense. We also get neat character details like how Cinder's habit of mirroring people started young when she tried to replicate Rhodes's hair, followed by her trying to emulate both Madame and Salem and seemingly working in some elements from Pyrrha into her outfit design. But more on her later. For now, let's focus back on trivia, such as how I recently found out that Ironwood growing a beard is another signal that he's not holding himself together well, as he's forgoing traditional military grooming and presentation. Oscar's shift is fairly obvious, of course. We also have Penny seemingly borrowing design elements from RWBY's Volume 1 outfit after being rebuilt. Plus we have characters who have significant emotional ties, sometimes adding the other person's colour to their clothing line. But now let's get on to the most intricate topic, for which I have to thank a Tumblr user whose name I can't pronounce but is linked below for. Please consider my spin a much less elegant summation of how the cycle of abuse is represented through the clothing of Salem, Cinder and Emerald. Now there's a lot you can say about Salem's designs, but it's also very clear cut. She is beyond a mere femme fatale. She is as beautiful and terrible as the morning and the night, fair as the sea and the sun and the snow upon the mountain, dreadful as the storm and the lightning. She is regal, mystic, divine, and generally elegant to an almost supernatural degree, both in dress and manner. Cinder tries her damnedest to imitate this when she's on her own, from the sultry smooth tones that contrast her much rougher and slightly higher voice when she's not in total control, her general posturing and mysterious effect that convey the idea that she's above you but gracing you with her consideration. It's imitation, meanwhile Salem has just been living like this for millennia. But we do see it in the clothes too, that is to say the clothes reflect Cinder's desire to emulate Salem's personification of power through fashion. Dark nail polish is a persistent thing, a diamond-shaped hole over the collarbone matching Salem's own just a little higher, also on the back of the dress they're forming a sharp V in the cutout that matches Salem's initial cape pattern. Then there's the patterns on the clothes that give a similar effect to Salem's veins, along with jewelry like her ankle bracelet which matches Salem's sharp obsidian bangles, and this is in her earliest outfit. As time wears on, her clothes become more and more Salem-like, becoming more flowing in nature and muted in colour before just becoming full-on black, with Cinder adopting the cape entirely. We can even see elements of Madame, the heels in particular evoke that woman with their haunting sound. Now we get to the recently liberated Emerald. Her initial style had next to nothing in common with Cinder's own, nor did her street-tough, sharp-tongued persona. While following Cinder, she adopted heels that would be detrimental to learn to navigate in and don't fit her sneak thief lifestyle and habits. Her bangles actually evoke similarities to Salem, but given she helped get this ball rolling, that fits. Emerald also slaps her personal sigil on the same place Cinder was branded by Salem's Grimbug. Also, Cinder's initial outfits also included a high collar that creates the illusion of a plunging neckline, framing a triangle over her collarbone which Emerald 100% takes to. She also went from, relatively speaking, practical street clothes to more theatrical stuff, which also evokes the X shape mentioned previously. As to behaviour, well, that's clearest to me in the tux and book trade scene. Emerald is 100% trying to imitate Cinder there, shifting from her performative customer voice to something slow and smooth, controlled and menacing, with a faint edge of a knife dipped in honey. Then, the moment Cinder's present, she drops the act entirely. Long story short, CRWBY put a lot of thought into these character designs beyond what just looked cool, and I love it. Thanks for tuning in! Oh, and if you'd like to help out with episodes or commission 3D models, please swing by my Patreon or Ko-fi for scripts, early uploads, models, and more. For now though, thanks for stopping by.